concern in the RM of Corman Park, why its council says a current partnership with the City of Saskatoon is no longer working. Scrapping bygone bylaws, why the city is repealing rules from years ago. And AI pricing, how the cost of food can fluctuate instantly.
This is CTV News with Chantel Saunders.
Good evening. The RM of Corman Park is looking to rework its relationship with the City of Saskatoon. After multiple struggles with its urban partner, Corman Park is airing its grievances. Keenan Sorokon explains.
It's a little rocky right now. We think going forward it has to change.
The RM of Corman Park is rethinking its relationship with the City of Saskatoon after years of frustrations. An RM committee meeting Tuesday looked at withdrawing from a regional planning commission meant to guide growth for the area. Made up of Warman, Martensville, Corman Park, Osler, and Saskatoon, this Planning for Growth, or P4G, has created more issues than opportunities for the RM since it was created 4 years ago.
When we put things forward, each of those other constituencies have a veto over us, but yet we don't have any input into what they do in their jurisdictions.
Councillors here feel P4G creates additional red tape and puts the RM at odds with city growth plans and competing interests, all while having few mechanisms to sort out conflicts. This all came to a head in the fall when Solaire, a neighborhood development previously denied by the city in 2019, was scaled down and pitched exclusively to the RM of Corman Park. With plans of its own for the area, the RM says the city didn't support the neighborhood development, which it says has effectively stalled the project.
And we're basically being told by our partners we can't develop on our own land.
The city declined an interview with administration officials, but Mayor Cynthia Block says the city gets along fantastically with Corman Park and she supports P4G.
Requires us to get to know one another and keep understanding, like, what are the pressures in your community and how can we support that.
Councillors voted 7-2 to explore withdrawing from the regional group unless changes are made.
We want it to be a partnership, but a partnership means it's a partnership, not just one side.
Administration will report back on potential implications before council makes a decision in June. Keenan Sorokon, CTV News, Saskatoon.
From restricting early morning milk sales to fining parents if their children stayed out past curfew, several long-forgotten Saskatoon bylaws are set to be scrapped. CTV's Stacey Hine has more on why the bylaws are on the chopping block.
A city committee has backed a plan to repeal 10 bylaws. Most date back nearly a century, are outdated, redundant, and no longer enforced.
One bylaw prohibits blasting using gunpowder, dynamite, and other explosives.
I think that was probably related to construction, and of course, since that bylaw was enacted, there is lots of different regulations now with respect to the use of explosives.
Another bans the sale of milk to private residences before 7 a.m. There's also a bylaw that bans bathing in the South Saskatchewan River within city limits, now made redundant by a later swimming bylaw. There's another one that bans children under 15 from being in public after 10:30 p.m. without supervision. Children found in violation may be taken to a shelter, while parents could face fines of $1 to $5. A city report says the fines are too low to deter violations, and the bylaw may be unconstitutional or discriminatory.
It is a complex issue that I don't think you can just solve by passing a bylaw.
The city solicitor says the review was prompted by upcoming amendments to the Cities Act, which will require municipalities to publish all bylaws online
On our website, so this isn't going to be a big change for the City of Saskatoon, but it just caused us to do one more historical sweep.
While the bylaws may seem odd today, they offer a glimpse into the past.
So it was very interesting for me to see what was important to the citizens at that point in time.
The recommendations now head to City Council for a final decision. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Concern is being raised about how artificial intelligence can influence prices on store shelves. Carla Schenkirk now on why experts say some companies get away with it more than others.
also called surveillance pricing or dynamic pricing. It's when companies change prices in real time based on consumer habits and algorithm. David Williams from the Edwards School of Business at the U of S says it's happening online, but has not seen it yet in physical stores.
And Amazon uses it and gets away with it because we don't know it's happening. When it happens with Ticketmaster or Uber, we get angry.
Grocery chains now have the technology, with some rolling out electronic shelf tags, and many people are already buying groceries online. But Williams says grocery chains are holding back.
They're not really adopting it now because of the risk of bad publicity.
In Manitoba, legislation has been introduced to protect against AI or surveillance pricing, and Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moe said this Tuesday in question period.
We've engaged with the federal government on real initiatives that can help control the inflationary price that Saskatchewan families and Canadians are seeing at the grocery store when it comes to online predatory pricing.
The Consumer Protection Division of the Financial and Consumer Affairs Authority of Saskatchewan say there has been no reported complaints of surveillance pricing impacting consumers in Saskatchewan. They will monitor developments, adding Saskatchewan has strong consumer protection measures to guard against unfair business practices, including prohibitions against misleading or deceiving consumers. On the street, reaction is mixed, with some shoppers unaware and others concerned about what it could mean for their wallet.
I personally have not noticed it, but it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if that was actually happening.
We pay enough as it is, so you're trying to get the best prices you can, but at the same time, if AI is trying to outsmart you to make you pay more, yeah, that's a concern.
For now, experts say transparency will be key as technology continues to shape how and how much we pay. Carla Shinkaruk, CTV News, Saskatoon.
The RM of Meadow Lake has asked for provincial help as it prepares for flooding. An emergency response officer with the Saskatchewan Public Safety Agency is on the way to the RM. The SPSA also plans to send personnel and flooding equipment. The RM says this is a precautionary measure as the community deals with flooding that has been reported in the area. The Water Security Agency has issued a high flow advisory for a large section of the province. Meadow Lake is under that advisory. More melting going on today with what snow was left.
Exactly. And there's still going to be some snow hanging around in the shaded areas, but ultimately some of that snow is going to get replaced because we've got ourselves another warm day, at least in central and southern parts of the province. It's going to start to cool off in northern areas on Wednesday, and it's going to be a windy day, so that could be a real snow eater. But more importantly, what's coming our way? Well, there's a low. You can't really see much of it in terms of a disturbance right now on our map, but this low is going to develop and track across the northern plain states, and as it does, it is going to, because the wraparound counterclockwise motion of a low pressure area, it's going to drag down that cold air. That cold air is going to bump into the warm air, and we've got ourselves some snow, and we'll talk about the snow and the rain-snow mix later on.
2 people were taken to hospital following a serious assault in Prince Albert. Police were called to a home in the 800 block of 4th Street East just before 4 o'clock this morning. Police found a 30-year-old man who had been shot and a 33-year-old woman who was assaulted. Police were told a group of people the pair didn't know came into the house and assaulted them. Both victims were taken to hospital. The man is in stable condition. Police are asking people in the area with surveillance systems to check for any suspicious activity. No arrests have been made. Saskatchewan is dedicating the month of April to raising awareness for organ and tissue donations. Damien Smith on the live save with each dedicated donor.
It's the launch of a new awareness campaign for organ and tissue donation. Kyla Thompson's daughter, Bella, also known as Bella Brave online, was a recipient of a successful bowel transplant. Bella passed away 1 year later due to an unrelated health complication, but her story and her mother's advocacy carries on.
Bella and I use our social media to help share her bravery with other kiddos in hospital. We also use those platforms for good, in a sense, in sharing any messages like these that would help other kiddos.
According to the Ministry of Health, one organ donor can save up to 8 lives, while one tissue donor can help up to 75 people.
My mom always encouraged me to draw, to practice and try harder with my writing.
Saskatoon artist Kevin Westquate uses art to honor his mother who passed away while on the transplant wait list.
Even today, like when I'm doing these paintings for the hospitals and such, I'm always, thinking about the next person and building that sense of belonging.
We recognize the importance of this for folks to have access to really something that could save their life at the end of the day and improve the quality of life and really the outcomes for themselves and their families.
The ministry also says that about 100 people are waiting for a life-saving kidney transplant and hundreds are waiting for ocular tissue surgery. They're asking for as many registrations as possible as there is a 1 to 2% chance that a person may be eligible.
You have to be on a ventilator, on a breathing machine, in the ICU, or maybe an emerge that will later move to ICU.
Since the registry launched in 2020, more than 33,000 residents have registered, hoping to help kids like Bella Brave and other patients in need.
She would just be excited to be up here and talk to you all and see you all, and she'd probably tell a joke, make you all laugh as well, keep those smiles on your faces.
Damien Smith, CTV News, Regina.
Plans are moving ahead for an AI data center in the Regina area. It comes as tensions flared outside an RM of Sherwood council meeting last night where the plans were approved. Sierra D'Souza Butts has those details.
Whether it's the fear of AI or environmental concerns, close to 100 people were outside the RM of Sherwood's council meeting Monday evening, criticizing Bell Canada's 300-megawatt AI data center planned for the outskirts of Regina.
Does the community really want AI it's just there to essentially replace workers and make human jobs obsolete?
I'm feeling pretty upset. It's frustrating. A lot of our community is very upset about AI data usage in general.
Shortly into the meeting, members voted in favor of its development agreement with Bell, the parent company of CTV News.
I'll call for the question. All in favor?
Moving forward with plans for the largest purpose-built data center in Canada, according to Bell, Interim Reeve Rework says council was confident in their decision after hearing from a group of local ratepayers.
Most of their concerns were incorporated within the agreement itself, but there were two things that were understood by us and Bell that we needed to elaborate a bit more on.
Those two things being water testing and noise levels.
The sound, the water, the drainage, none of those are reality based on our design. We're not using any water, 0 liters, right? We're not going to generate infrasound beyond our property line.
As part of council's decision, ORB says data sovereignty is important for municipalities across Saskatchewan.
We have a good opportunity here to build something, and to us, it's a success story for the province.
Bell Canada says construction is scheduled to start this spring and will come online in stages beginning in the first half of 2027. Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Regina.
In Prince Albert, the city's proposed property tax plan was at City Hall last night. Jasmine Pelche has more on the potential impact to residents and how not all councillors agreed with the plan.
The City of Prince Albert debated the proposed property and special tax bylaws for 2026 at Monday night's council meeting, with some councillors in favor and others opposed.
What we're working hard to, as you heard tonight, was to keep the increases as minimal as possible and yet not have to cut back services.
The proposed increase to residential property tax in 2026 is $77 annually for properties assessed at $120,000. Properties assessed at $450,000 would see a $255 increase. This includes an increase from 2025 for base tax and special tax related to fire, policing, snow, and roadway operations, which amounts to $12 for each residential property.
The different special taxes, are important to ensure that we have those budgets set aside for roadways or snow management.
City administration says these increases are part of a proposed tax plan intended to address the additional $3.5 million needed to balance the city's approved operating and capital budgets and reserve allocations. Council requested a report from administration on the current taxation framework with options to simplify it before the 2027 budget deliberations this fall. This year's special tax bylaws were not all passed at Monday's City Council meeting, as a decision to move to a third reading was not unanimous. So another vote is scheduled for Wednesday, when the bylaws could be approved. If Council gives the green light, the City says the 2026 property tax rates will be posted on the property tax website. Jasmine Pelche, CTV News, Prince Albert.
Saskatchewan could soon have a new classification of judges. The province has introduced legislation to create associate judges at Court of King's Bench. As Wayne Mantika reports, they will handle certain procedural matters to speed up the administration of justice.
The new associate justices of the Court of King's Bench will handle matters that the public typically doesn't hear about.
Sure. A large volume of work happens in chambers at the Court of King's Bench, so chambers applications, whether they're family matters, routine matters for adjustments to child support or access orders, things like that. Also civil matters that might go through the Court of King's Bench.
Saskatchewan joins its two neighboring provinces in creating a new category of judges. They will allow full-fledged justices to focus on more complex matters.
Their duties will be assigned by the Chief Justice. So in consultation with the Chief Justice and the Court of King's Bench, we were pleased to be able to introduce this act to create those new positions. And of course, 4 of those positions were announced as part of the funding in this year's budget.
Normally, Court of King's Bench justices are appointed by the federal government. The new associate judges will be appointed and paid for by the province.
This position is something that we can create provincially that will help alleviate those pressures.
The NDP is offering conditional support.
I do know that this is coming at the request of the courts. Anything that improves access to justice is a good thing.
The new appointments to the bench will come as courtroom workloads increase. The government attributes that in part to a growing population and increasing case complexity. The new judges will ensure more timely access to the courts. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
Still to come, the latest on the ceasefire in the Middle East. Also, what we are learning about the shooting rampage at a popular Mexican tourist spot. You're watching CTV News live from downtown Saskatoon. Thanks for staying with us. We are learning more tonight about the mass shooting yesterday at a popular tourist site near Mexico City. A gunman went on a rampage, killing a Canadian woman, wounding another Canadian and 12 other visitors. Authorities say the attack was not spontaneous. The shooter came prepared, and now there are videos circulating on social media. CTV's Adrian Gabriel reports.
Gunshots can be heard piercing through the air as screams echo from the base of the Teotihuacan pyramids as tourists run for cover. This all taking place at one of the most popular tourist destinations on the planet. The shooting was initially reported at 11:20 a.m. on Monday. This web camera recording of the historic site shows the first moments as visitors began to run for their lives. Let's go. A closer look shows the gunman pacing, holding the .38 caliber firearm he used to kill one Canadian. The deadly attack injuring at least 13 more, including a 29-year-old Canadian woman and a 6-year-old boy from Colombia. The Teotihuacan pyramids are located here, roughly 45 kilometers northeast of Mexico City, making it a popular day trip from Mexico's capital. The shooter has been identified as 27-year-old Julio Cesar Yasso of Mexico. Seen here carrying a backpack, Mexican authorities say inside they found pamphlets related to an infamous U.S. mass shooting.
A shooting up here at Columbine High School.
The Monday attack coinciding with the April 1999 anniversary of the Columbine High School massacre in Colorado, where 2 students opened fire, killing 13 classmates and 1 teacher. Today, Mexico's president shared her condolences with the family of the Canadian killed, as did Prime Minister Mark Carney.
We're working with Mexican authorities on the situation, but it's a sad day.
It's a day that many witnesses who survived are still coming to terms with.
Some of the tourists started screaming, ducking, and running.
While some ran, others jumped to a landing below, alongside the pyramid.
We kind of try to hold on with our hands and kind of extend our full body length, and then let ourselves drop from there.
Following roughly 10 minutes of terror, the Mexican National Guard shot Ramirez in the leg as he climbed near the pyramid's peak. That's where he turned the weapon on himself and took his own life. With Mexico set to co-host the upcoming FIFA World Cup alongside the United States and Canada, there are now calls for tighter security measures in that country. Ottawa is calling on a prompt and thorough investigation. Adrian Gabriel, CTV News, Toronto.
With Mexico, Canada, and the U.S. preparing for July's CUSMA negotiations, Prime Minister Carney today unveiled a new trade advisory council. It's a group of familiar political faces, along with a mix of union, industry, and titans of finance. Mike Lukacher breaks down the mandate of this diverse, nonpartisan panel.
As the cross-border tensions ramp up in the playoffs, the Prime Minister is assembling his own team to enter the trade arena with the U.S.
I'm very pleased to have that group. It's a diverse group, leaders from the union movement, experts in industry.
Carney's reconstituted Canada-U.S. Advisory Committee brings together 24 CEOs, former politicians, and business leaders. Holdovers from the previous version include Unifor President Lana Payne, former Quebec Premier Jean Charest, and Flavio Volpe, President of the Automotive Parts Manufacturers Association. Now, there are plenty of new faces, including former Conservative leader Aaron O'Toole, the President of the Aluminum Association of Canada, Jean Simard, and the head of the Canadian Chamber of Commerce.
We can't forget about our small and medium enterprise businesses. That's 98% of our businesses, and so I look forward to sharing that perspective as part of the committee.
Hearing from people impacted by the Canada-U.S. trade war is key, according to the committee's chair.
I think it'll help our negotiations and it'll help the Government of Canada be informed in terms of these different perspectives.
A Conservative leader, Pierre Poilievre, didn't criticize the committee, but he did take aim at the lack of progress in the negotiations.
He's done absolutely nothing on this file in the last year other than use it to stoke fear and distract from his catastrophic failings here at home.
So how far behind is Canada in negotiations? Well, U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer is meeting with his Mexican counterpart to discuss CUSMA at the end of May. There are no such meetings scheduled for Canada and the U.S. Mike Lukacher, CTV News, Ottawa.
In the Middle East, the ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran was set to expire tomorrow, but Donald Trump has now decided to extend the truce at the request of Pakistan, which has been acting as a mediator. The U.S. president posted this on social this afternoon, saying, in part, we have been asked to hold our attack on the country of Iran until such time as their leaders and representatives can come up with a unified proposal. I have therefore directed our military to continue the blockade and in all other respects remain ready and able, and will therefore extend the ceasefire until such time as their proposal is submitted and discussions are concluded one way or another. Meanwhile, the shaky ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah is under further threat after both sides launched attacks today. The Iranian-backed militant group said it fired rockets and drones at a position in northern Israel that had been striking southern Lebanon. It accused Israel of attacking civilians and destroying homes in breach of the truce. The Israelis say they struck the launcher from which the rockets were fired. Israel also insists Hezbollah fired several rockets toward its troops in southern Lebanon, describing that as a violation of the ceasefire. All right, Jeff, I know a lot of people were enjoying the outdoors today. Another chance tomorrow, but then change happens.
Yeah, another chance tomorrow, albeit tomorrow will be a windy day, but temperatures will be above seasonal for one more day. And then things really start to change in a big way as we make our way into Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Some places will start to see some of this precipitation earlier, so we'll talk about that in detail in a little bit. Right now, temperature right now of 19 degrees in Saskatoon, not particularly windy, still pretty pleasant. 13 degrees. Yeah, Prince Albert's been somewhat cooler today than the Battlefords in Saskatoon. So 13 right now, not much of a wind, so that's kind of pleasant. And 20 degrees in the Battlefords, and the winds have picked up a little bit. Northerly winds at 20 clicks. Saskatoon's almanac, well, today the daytime high, 22 degrees, so 9 degrees above seasonal. 31, the record warm temperature. That was set in 1942, the record cold temperature for the 21st of April. That was minus 19, yeah. 1893 yet again. And the sun came up at 3 minutes before 6, and it's going to go down at 8:15.
Coming up, marking a milestone on campus, we take you to a special celebrations at the First Nations University of Canada.
Saskatchewan continues to explore nuclear power options. Wednesday on Your Morning, Minister Jeremy Harrison on the province's deal with Ontario to expand our power options.
All right, look at this big blue sky. We're going to get some more clouds tomorrow, but it's still going to be warm, but it's also going to be quite windy. And yes, it's been a very pleasant day, so I hope you had a chance to be out and enjoy the sunshine. It's certainly nice to have that as we are in spring. You know, it's nice to have spring-like conditions. So let's take a look at our satellite and radar shot here. Not a lot to show you right now. We can tell you that there's this low, and it's going to be a slow-moving low. That's something I didn't mention earlier on. So it's going to be a robust low, slow-moving, making its way across the northern plain states, and the counterclockwise rotation around the low, that's going to be dragging cold air and creating some active weather for a long period of time. At least, you know, when we're used to Alberta clippers moving through quickly, not an Alberta clipper. It's slow moving. So we'll take a look at some numbers right now. Just to recap, 19 in Saskatoon, 13 in Prince Albert, and 20 in the Battlefords. The hot spot in the province today, that was Estevan, and a big 27 degrees, by the way, yesterday. The first time we had 30 degrees this year, and that was in Lytton, BC. -9, the cold spot in Saskatchewan today, that was Collins Bay. 17 degrees right now in Lloydminster, 23 in Swift Current, 21 in Moose Jaw and Regina, just 13, but still not bad in Yorkton, 25 degrees in Estevan. As we take a look at central parts of the province, single digits, specifically 6 degrees in Melfort and Nipawin. It's also at 9 single digits in Wynyard. But look at that, 23 in Rosetown, 22 in Kindersley, 10 degrees in Meadow Lake, 14 in Hudson Bay. Up north, minus temperatures of around -2 in Stony Rapids and Collins Bay, but 7 in Key Lake, 11 in La Ronge, 9 in Buffalo Narrows. Making our way into southern Saskatchewan, roasty and toasty by my standards lately. We've got ourselves temperatures in and around that 24 25 degree mark in many locations. 20 degrees in Indian Head, 16 in Last Mountain Regional Park, 13 in Melville. Now making our way towards our future cast. Watch those pressure lines, those white lines getting closer and closer together. Yes, we are expecting a very windy day tomorrow, and you can certainly see as well that active weather sliding across Alberta into Saskatchewan, mostly north of Prince Albert, and it looks like it's going to be a rain-snow mix, and then mostly snow for points north. Here we go. We do have some watches and warnings, winter storm warnings and snowfall warnings in effect. Not snowfall warnings, just winter weather warnings in effect for parts of Saskatchewan, and it's not winter anymore. We've got ourselves cloudy skies in La Ronge and Stony Rapids, 2 in La Ronge, 3 in Stony Rapids. Similar situation, but with a chance of some precipitation in Buffalo Narrows and Key Lake. Meadow Lake and Spiritwood anticipating rain tomorrow, but look at that, 18 degrees for Kindersley and Rosetown, mainly cloudy skies. Temperatures in the high teens, low 20s for the southwest, and expecting wind to be the dominant feature for Leader and Swift Current on Wednesday. A windy day in store for Yorkton, Regina, and Estevan. Temperatures in the 20s for both locations, although we've got 14 degrees for Yorkton and 7 degrees for Melfort and Hudson Bay tomorrow under cloudy skies. 14 for Watrous, 9 in Humboldt, and it's going to be a windy day in Humboldt. Dropping down to 5 degrees in the Battlefords tonight, 12 degrees tomorrow, but the winds start to pick up, and then temperatures drop right off on Thursday and into the minus side of the thermometer on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So yes, an unpleasant situation shaping up in many respects. 2 degrees on Monday, 4 on Tuesday. For Prince Albert, and 1 degree overnight with some fog patches showing up. Tomorrow, a chance of showers with windy conditions and a high of just 8 degrees. 0 on Thursday. It looks like Thursday is going to be the big snow day for Prince Albert, but lingering snow through Friday and Saturday, and temperatures dropping off to -3 on Friday. Trying to get back to seasonal. 3 degrees on the plus side by Tuesday. For Saskatoon, 7 degrees with increasing clouds, winds out of the east at 20, but the winds really pick up tomorrow, a high of 14 degrees under mainly cloudy skies. And then on Thursday, dropping down to just 1 for a high, expecting a fair amount of snow on Thursday. Friday, still a good chance of flurries on or snowfall on Friday, -3, -2 on Saturday, 0 on Sunday, and 3 degrees the expected daytime highs on Monday and Tuesday. Madonna is making an appeal after returning to the Coachella stage for the second time ever last weekend. The music legend joined pop star Sabrina Carpenter in a performance of Vogue and Like a Virgin. Madonna wore a purple corset, boots, and a Gucci leather jacket. She says the outfit is missing and is asking for it back, and she's offering an unspecified reward. Bidding is now open on a number of props and costumes from all 5 seasons of the Paramount Plus Star Trek Discovery series. This auction is being held online through the Prop Store and will run through May 12th. There are more than 300 lots, including costumes and prop weapons. A new stunt today from Canadian rapper Drake. It's a massive ice sculpture in downtown Toronto. Somewhere inside that ice is the release date of the Toronto rapper's next album called Iceman. Nutty.
Jeff, it is barbecue season and also fundraising season.
It certainly is, and sometimes it involves dogs. You feel like some barbecue? Well, Saturday is a good day to get some because I'm here with Brent Arstall from We All Need a Rescue Dog Rescue, and it's your first fundraising barbecue of the season.
Absolutely is. Cabela's, we always start with our first barbecue, and it ends with our last barbecue in September, but this Saturday.
So this Saturday, and for those people who don't know, We All Need a Dog Rescue is actually a dog sanctuary now.
Yes, it is. Yeah, we have 46 dogs in our care right now in our sanctuary program, but we do have a couple that are still up for adoption.
Okay, now a couple up for adoption, and one of them is Comet here, and Comet has a sister that's also up for adoption?
That's correct. They'll both here be this weekend. They'll be here, plus a couple more dogs.
Okay, and if you want to pop out here to grab a burger, meet the dogs, what time is the barbecue going on?
It's from 11 till 3.
From 11 till 3 right here at Cabela's on Saturday. And for people who want more information about the sanctuary and things you do, where can they go?
They can just go to our Facebook. Okay. Is pretty much the best way. It has the most pictures and stuff. And the barbecue is the best barbecue in Saskatoon, regardless of the weather.
All right. You keep saying that.
Well, the weather is definitely part of our theme today for Pick of the Day.
It certainly is, and we're going to start off with this one. This comes to us from Cynthia, and Cynthia writes, "Morning, Jeff. What a beautiful day today. The clouds were just amazing this morning. This is out by the North Swales. We sure have a big sky, land of the living skies for sure." Nice shot there, those cirrus clouds. Thanks, Cynthia. The next one from Lorraine. Lorraine tells us, "I was checking the flower beds today and found these little beauties enjoying the sun." I hope those little beauties have fur coats because, yeah, it's going to be a little chilly for them. And finally from Ruth. Ruth says, "Garfield, just waiting for the warm weather." Well, we had warm weather today and it'll still be warm tomorrow, Garfield, but you might want to stay indoors. When we make our way to Thursday. And if you'd like to send us an image, you can do so by sending it to CFQC News at CTV, rather. Yeah, CFQC News at CTV.ca, or you can scan the QR code on the screen.
Still to come on CTV News, marking the first of the season, the significance of a weekend powwow at the First Nations University of Canada.
Greetings, everyone. To kick off the powwow season, visitors from across Canada and beyond were in Regina celebrating the annual First Nations University of Canada's Spring Powwow. This year, the university is celebrating its 50th anniversary, marking a major milestone for alumni, staff, and students. CTV's Sierra D'Souza Butts has more.
Claude Friday takes pride in joining the Spring Powwow in Regina.
Beautiful event to, help our university, help our people, our students.
With the ceremonial dance being a rich tradition for Indigenous people, Friday says he is proud to take the stage with people close to him.
I continue to follow that way and teach my family, my friends, my relatives, and continue dancing and for the betterment of our people and for everyone in the world.
Through song and dance, the First Nations University of Canada's Spring Powwow aims to bring people together while celebrating the start of the powwow season. With over 800 dancers participating, organizers say the event continues to grow larger every year.
many people here from across Turtle Island that have come here just for that powwow. And the FNU Spring Celebration powwow is usually the first one that happens to start off powwow season for the year, especially in Saskatchewan. So I'm very glad to see a lot of dancers and past students here.
Brings together community, and I think that's really special. Robin Cody, a U.S. Navy veteran, says the annual event allows her to experience her culture, representing the Indigenous peoples in Canada who have served in the First and Second World Wars. My grandfather, Tony Cody, was a veteran, and, many veterans like him who paved the way. And I feel like it's so important as a veteran myself to continue that legacy and to come and represent veterans and to let our community know that we're still here and that we're still advocating and we're still pushing for rights of our community. This year, the university also celebrated its 50th anniversary, marking a milestone for alumni, students, and FNUNIV staff.
50 years of Indigenous education, 50 years of resilience, 50 years of strength, 50 years of healing. I'm here for our current students, and I have to acknowledge the ones that have came before me and the ones that will come after me.
At this year's powwow, the Saskatchewan Roughriders also made an appearance with the Grey Cup. Families got the chance to capture a moment with the cup and a few of the team's players. Bringing everyone from various communities together, Friday says he hopes the powwow continues for decades to come.
I hope there's another 50 years and it keeps on going, and when I'm not here, that it still keep on going 150 years time.
For Indigenous Circle, I'm Sierra D'Souza Butts in Regina.
If you have a story you would like to see in this segment, here's how to reach us. You can contact me by email, and you can also watch past episodes and segments of Indigenous Circle on our CTV Regina and CTV Saskatoon websites.
Indigenous Circle, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Indigenous Enterprise Foundation, growing the First Nation entrepreneurial spirit.
When we come back, what the Premier is saying about the future of Saskatchewan's economy, and later, the stunning sight from outer space.
Okay, it's time to check in on tomorrow's forecast for the rural areas. Now, some places are going to be quite warm, and those some places include places like Outlook and Kindersley. Look at these temperatures, really nice, but it cools off because, the rain is moving in for some areas basically north of the Yellowhead. So Lloydminster, Spiritwood, Meadow Lake, all anticipating some rain tomorrow, cooling off. It cools off in Melfort and Hudson Bay as well, just 7 degrees for those two communities. But make your way south, 14 in Watchers, 10 in Wynyard. Wynyard, it's going to be a windy day, and wind will be a big deal for places like Lumsden, Pilot Butte, Broadview, and Carlisle. And even though those places have the windy icon, it doesn't mean other locations in southern and south central Saskatchewan will not be windy. It'll be breezy, shall we say. But look at that. Look at those temperatures, getting up to 26 in Coronach, 24 for Rockglen. So a warm day setting up in many parts of the province still, but the cold and rainy conditions and snowy conditions are on the way. But for tomorrow, for Bruno, not bad at all. Partly cloudy or mainly cloudy skies, 14 degrees, winds out of the northeast, 40 gusting to 60, so it is going to be a windy day in Bruno. And Bruno is one of the places where internet plans of up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel.
Cargill's new canola crush plant near Regina is now operating. According to the company, it means more market access for Western Canadian farmers. The plant has the capacity to process 1 million metric tons of canola into oil for food and renewable fuels and high-protein meal for animal feed. It supports more than 100 jobs in the Regina area through full-time employees and contractors. Cargill also operates canola crush facilities in Clavet and Camrose, Alberta. Premier Scott Moe says Saskatchewan is focusing itself on market diversification. Jacob Carr on what he sees as current and future growth as the province taps into the world economy.
Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moe delivered the keynote address to attendees at the Delta Hotel at this year's Food, Fuel and Fertilizer Summit. He emphasized how the province's companies are taking advantage of evolving opportunities and seeing success abroad.
Food, fuel, fertilizer. That is precisely what the Saskatchewan's role is in the world, is to be part of food and energy security supply chains for over 160 countries around the world.
One of those companies is Saskatoon-based Cameco, one of the largest global producers of uranium fuel. Cameco's president and CEO says that there's currently a global push to build nuclear reactors, including in India.
They have 8 gigawatts, that's like 8 large reactors, 8 gigawatts equivalent of nuclear power
They want 100 by 2047. Like, that's the growth we're seeing in our industry. So we're living in a different movie these days.
But uranium, not the only kind of fuel discussed at the summit. Saskatchewan's NDP is still concerned about the prices of filling up at the pump in the province.
We're continuing to press this government to do the right thing and to pass along some relief at the pumps to Saskatchewan families, farms, and businesses that are facing extraordinary costs right now.
The Canadian government's temporary suspension of the federal fuel excise tax has decreased gas prices by 10 cents, but Mo says the provincial government has more permanent tax relief in mind.
The approach that we have taken, and we've answered this many times, is for us to move in the way of much more permanent and long-term and sustainable tax reductions for Saskatchewan families year in, year out.
As for the growth that Saskatchewan's private investment has seen, the government says there was an increase last year of 12% to over $13 billion. That ranks Saskatchewan first among provinces. Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
Some Canadian companies are eligible for refunds on American tariffs. Marilla Fernandez with that.
Washington collected about $160 billion in tariffs that the U.S. Supreme Court later deemed illegal. Walmart's filing a claim. It's owed an estimated $10 billion. Nike could get $1 billion refund. The Canadian Federation of Independent Business says about a third of Canadian exporters paid hefty tariffs because their goods did not qualify under the CUSMA exemption. Refund claims go through U.S. Customs and Border Protection. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down to 73.15. West Texas Intermediate is up over $2 to 89.67. Western Canadian Select up over $3 to 68.48. And the TSX lost 551 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Coming up, watching the Earth set, the new images brought back to the planet. Then the surprise visit for one California couple.
Select Hair Services brought to you by Sage, the beauty bar.
We've got another great night of entertainment coming up right here tonight at 7, starting with Will Trent. Well, the sun may have set on the Artemis II mission, but we are still getting some pretty incredible footage like this.
Would you look at that, man?
Wow, what's the shadow behind it?
Wow.
Astronaut Reed Wiseman, the commander of the Artemis II mission, shared this cell phone video of Earth set. He says it's like watching a sunset at the beach from the most foreign seat in the cosmos. Wiseman says what you're seeing through his phone is pretty comparable to the view that you would get with just your human eye. That is pretty neat.
Is that like a NASA superphone? It's like that image is just great.
Special astronaut phone.
Astrophone.
Pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, a couple in California had some surprise visitors recently.
Hi, everybody. Look at that.
Yep. A hot air balloon full of people made an emergency landing in the couple's backyard. No one was hurt, thankfully, and nothing was damaged. In fact, the couple said the basket narrowly missed their fence. The pilot had to make the surprise landing because the winds died down, causing the balloon to hover and run out of fuel. So that's not something you see every day.
No. So even though this area of LA gets a lot of the balloon traffic because of the launch area and the prevailing winds, but yeah, I don't think that happens too often. Thank goodness.
Absolutely not.
Okay. Something that happens not enough is warm temperatures. It seems lately. So
this year anyway.
Brace yourself for the rain and the cold, folks.
Thanks for watching. Have a great night.